Hey guys, happy Saturday. I'm delighted that you are able to join me this evening. Thank you to all of the guests, viewers, and supporters of the Indie Spotlight and the Indie Spotlight Special Edition. You know we couldn't do this without you. Also, I had put on my page as a special announcement. I will be launching a YouTube and a Anchor podcast for the Indie Spotlight and the Indie Spotlight Special Edition. Stick tuned and stay tuned to my timeline because I will be talking about that and updating that. But tonight's episode, I'm your host Shayrenee, and tonight's episode of the Indie Spotlight Special Edition is a good one, a favorite one. We are having on Philadelphia's own rapper and lyricist, Rome, your favorite rapper, and he's in the room, and I'm going to invite him to the camera, and we'll start the interview. Oh.
Hey,
Hi. How are you?
good, right? How you?
Great, great. It's good. So your evening's going well.
I mean, I got it started because I know I was getting ready to come on with you. So I mean, I had to tap in with my fans real quick, and a couple
Oh, okay.
good people came on, and I just was in here rapping for a minute, spiking I was telling them a little bit about what we was getting ready to do. I said, she gonna ask me some questions, she's gonna dig into.
Sure.
And
I
I'm
want.
happy to
I'm
be here.
sorry. I wanted to thank you for being very, very reachable. Sometimes that's not really, really easy as when you're interviewing people. So thank you for that.
That's why I'm your favorite rapper.
Yeah. Yes, I was going to ask you, how did you come up with your name? But it's kind of like self-explanatory, only if you want to talk about it. But if you don't want to
Um,
talk about it, it's
Can
fine.
can I smoke when how I don't know how you run it, can I smoke on it? Can I,
Sure, sure. I mean, at this point, marijuana
it's
is
legal.
legal and it is medicinal. And a lot of people actually, I've seen people use marijuana oil and use like CBD and THC oil for children with seizures
Yeah, oh
and
yeah,
things like that.
man, one of my best friends, his son is, when he don't have it, he can't talk, he can't eat, he can't even tie a sneaker. They have to give him,
Yeah,
he dropped 2 drops in his juice or at nighttime, whereas he's able to get up and do his sneaker for his, outside of having this tincture, he can't do nothing. So
sure.
and son got so bad, my man wound up getting into learning how to cook it, make it, and now he got a certified cook to put this the marijuana, the oil of it in anything.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So
sure.
it's real. A lot of people don't understand. I got a friend right now. I'm trying to school her so much on stress. I'm like, yo, you need to, you're a hairstylist. You're on your feet 9, 10 hours a day. You stressing. You don't even know how much, if you smoke some marijuana, will release some of this tension and stress that you don't even see you carrying. So it's like we trying to wake them up. We gonna wake them up. We gonna wake them up.
Yeah, it's definitely have has done a lot of
Let me
amazing
share
things
this
for
live
people.
out. While you talking, I'm gonna share this live out. Trying
Okay.
to get many people on here as possible because I want to make sure that they get to see who you are and what you got going on. I have to. I'll go ahead, keep talking.
Oh, okay. So where can people actually find you at? So all of your social media platforms and all of your music platforms, but I know you also do. So you'll tell us about some of the things you're doing.
You can find. I mean, I'm on everything. Google me. My business pop up on Google. Everything's there. But I got my own website, so that's www.romeyourfavoriterapper.com. Where you can actually get, if anything ever happened, like Instagram disappeared, all this, you still got a personal website. Tap in with me and enjoy everything that I got going on. I'm not gonna say I'm a household name yet, but you know, I went to I'm not from an era where, you know, we was the statistics of not making it out. So me making it through that, a lot of the people that's my age, let's say normally say if more women in my generation made the time I was coming up then I'm special right now, whether I like it or not, because I'm one of the few that nobody thought would slip through the cracks, most likely. Most likely. It's like sometimes when you the odd shoe, you get looked at the least. But sometimes in the roughest times, you might gotta grab those pair of shoes compared to your name brand or the sneaks you would wear to look good in. It'd be that one day where you like, I don't need none of that shit. I gotta put them out. I'm throwing these Jones on real quick. We gonna go get busy. And I felt like that for a long time that I was that pair of shoes that everybody walking past, and it was like, I get my shoes over here next to these shoes that people always want. But then what I learned in the mix of that is people always going to want more than they can handle, but they always want something that they at least need. They'll overlook what they need for something that they want, and then when they get it, they don't even want it no more. When you could have already had something that you was already going to adore, or was going to bring something to you, compared to you want something and you don't like it. If that so, you know, just you could Google me, you know, Romeo. I'm the only one with that name. So
That's what I was saying. I was gonna say your name is very, I like it, and it's very unique, and it's very like kind of like one of a kind. So it was so easy. Like I often tell some artists when someone goes to play like your music in their story, because
mhm,
that's a way that you can expose a lot of independent artists and artists' music. Sometimes their names are under like two or three different things, and then there's people with close names that's
right,
like that. But like your name, just like I actually found someone else's music like through like just like looking through your name and found you all of your stuff, like all of your stuff. So that's great.
you know what I mean, and I appreciate the social media because I watched it evolve into that. You know what I'm saying? I watched it evolve into that. You know, just being able to have a platform where you can literally just put your music up there. Like I remember when I first, you know, transitioned from MySpace over to Facebook. And
Hmm.
when they was first allowing you to load up your MP3, and I was already doing like Photoshop and just doing different covers. So, but I didn't have the music behind it at the time, and MySpace was getting real hard to carry because it was like, you know, it wasn't just about music on MySpace. It was more, you know, your space, you doing your thing, you know, you putting your. But I was like able to always some way somehow I was able to translate how I wanted to live and was living out through pictures and through my music. So when I was able to finally load it up, and I did a song with the game, and shit had hit 1 million views on MySpace. Like people just start tapping from everywhere.
So so you did a song with the game who was formerly with G Unit.
At the time, he was with Black Wall Street. You know, he was on his own label.
Wow, wow,
But
wow. What's the name of that song?
it was called what the. This shit was. Listen, it was so long. I can't even. And that's what I was mad
Okay.
at MySpace because I couldn't ever when they locked us out. Like when we made the transition, none of us could get back into the.
Oh,
So like I lost so much history of, you know, my my early
yeah.
my early career that I
Mm.
wish people could see now, man. I'm talking about like I had grills in my mouth. I lived in West Virginia for like 3 years. I was down there performing with DJ Onk. The two-step was out. I wound up going to Cincinnati and opening up for Rick Ross when he first came out, and just it was a lot of
Wow.
shit going on in the Midwest at the time that wasn't going too much on up top. And I just happened to have an opportunity to go to the Midwest, and it just allowed me to express all this Philadelphia, North Philly energy and struggle. And I had a place where I could release all of that I couldn't release here because of just the if I don't know you, then you know you're not getting co-signed, or if you don't know somebody that knows somebody, they don't want to. It's not that people don't want to fuck with you. They just They don't see no value in you. They don't say that, who are you? You know what I mean? I don't know who you with. You know what I'm saying? So down there, they don't go off of that. They just go off who bombed it. Like if somebody gave me the opportunity to get on the microphone and I bombed it, oh, they was like, fuck is this nigga? Like, oh shit. They didn't have no stars. So everything was more like, damn, this nigga can rap. You know what I'm saying? So I wound up bringing that Southern hospitality back to Philadelphia, and I've been here with it ever since. And
Awesome.
I brought that Midwest, that I got a chance to go to Cincinnati, Kentucky, Ohio, Chicago, Indianapolis. The only thing that I didn't touch at that time was Atlanta. I didn't really it really wasn't swinging my way at that time. Whereas though I really got embedded with, what I mean, I had some people in Oklahoma, so it was like I wound up shooting in Miami for my first time in like 2012. I had a sister that lived out there, and we did a song together. Her mom found me on Facebook and was like, "Yo, you remind me of my son. He died, but you really remind me of my son. He didn't do no music." So her knowing I did music and she liked it, she like, "My daughter rap though." So y'all, once you get with her, sent me a page, let me listen to her music, and she was dope. So, rest her soul, man. My sister not here no more, man. Got rest in peace, man. My sister, younger, we was the same age.
I'm
Um,
sorry to hear that.
she died like 2 years ago. She got murdered, and
Oh,
her mom.
oh,
This is why I gotta keep doing what I'm doing, because I gotta keep her name alive. You know what I'm saying? Rest in peace. Yes, I gotta keep her name alive, and also it was like hate that took her out. So it's like I got a lot of statements that I'm, if I ever really, I feel like I'm already succeeding in the music business because I control my own destiny. I'm
mm,
not nobody calling the shots. I put my money to everything. When I travel, I get paid very well to travel and get the job done. Been doing music for over 20 plus years, I was like 11, 12 years old. Like I said, when Another Bad Creation came out and Crisscross came out, I was a facet, and then even in Philadelphia, we had, you know, um, young groups, what I mean, one squad, and we had, the major figures, and we just had, even the Beanie Siegels and the E's, we just always had talent here that the Pay the Bells and the, what I mean, the Gamble and Huffs and just all this stuff going on here. And being so my grandma was raising me, it wasn't too many men around that could help me see past the television. But then when I seen all the, the stuff that my grandma was missing, all the stuff that the women felt like they was missing out because they didn't have the men. And they knew that they needed the, their specialty was the men. Like we know some great men out here. I think that got up under my skin where it was like I gotta, show my grandma. I'm like, all right, well, maybe I could show them what a real man. Maybe I could become a real man, whatever that is. Because I didn't even know what it was because nobody could tell me. All I heard was the downfalls of a man. Growing up, and men ain't, they not doing this and they not doing that, and so my mind was always set on, well, what is going on that they not able to do this? But through music, I was able to look at life differently, and I was able to see this shit. And I tried to be that voice in the hood, like, oh, that's not real. This is what's really going on. This is why this is that way. This is why this is. Some people get it, some people don't. A lot of times, my communication can go over a lot of people's head because a lot of people don't look past what they want. They only see life from what they want. So everything they do is offset of trying to get something that they want. They miss the whole point of life and why God made more than one person. So we can interact, not interact off what you got. And then I'm gonna come fuck what you know. More off of, you good? You're not good, but maybe I can help you. What you need? You know what I mean? But we're in the world of material glorification and I can't fuck with you if you ain't got nothing. But if I ain't got nothing, you got something. Why don't you help me get something? Don't that make a little bit of sense? And then maybe you'll never hear me saying I need something.
I definitely agree with that. And I definitely like your logic or the way you think. I noticed that a lot of people from Philadelphia, or shall I say, a lot of men and women, but a lot of men from Philadelphia are really like expressing themselves through music, and we produce a lot of rappers. And I was like, why isn't the city funding this more? It should really
Because
be the more grants and things like that for the arts and rapping or making music or being a lyricist. It's something hugely that should be invested in. And this is why this is why I'm doing this, because it needs to be exposed, it needs to be seen. Just because you see people mainstreaming people on TV, that is not the only people that
right, like, and they
are
came
doing it.
a lot
Hmm.
of a lot of them. If they telling y'all in they interviews, I'm from here, and they repping they black. They like, I'm from, I had nothing. Wow, where y'all think we come from? I was walking
Right.
the same sidewalk he was walking on.
That's right.
It's not about being better. It's about how can you help me be successful so I can make y'all successful.
Yeah, it's funny because like a lot of times, why is everything, a lot of things are competitive, but I want to make sure that everyone knows that you also have a YouTube and you also have a podcast. I just want to make sure I get that out there. That I get that out there. That you have a YouTube, you have a podcast, and you're on Spotify and your music is out there. That's one of my biggest things, to make sure that people see this, that they see your stuff and listen to your music and look at your podcast. Because I just looked at your podcast. I just looked at your YouTube with your podcast. You had an interview with Freeway Rick Ross, which was very, very eye opening. I actually really enjoyed. Excuse me. I actually really enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Could you talk a little bit about like your pod? I mean, well, talk
Oh,
about God.
this is how,
I have so many questions.
this is how my podcast came along. It's crazy because I really never. Everybody always called me when I was growing up a preacher, or I had somebody come to me one day and was like, "Yo, I know you're calling," and I was like, "What you talking about? What's that?" And he was like, "Yo, if I put you in a room full of kids, they'll follow you." And part of my life, I was like, but then when I started looking at different sections of people, and I'm like, it's too many people to try to channel certain people in one box.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many other people that need help. If I could be so it's like my podcast came along, whereas I was really trying to give it to somebody else. I was trying to open somebody else, one of my people's eyes up, and say, hey, look, you got all these celebrity status, and you're around all these celebrities. Won't you do a podcast where you sit your artist down? They wouldn't do it. They chose to package the artist in a different way.
Mm-hmm.
Um, for basically a money is more like for money, for just money, for money gain, so a couple years go past, and here come COVID, and I happened to I was trying to do like a little interview on one of the battle rappers. Shout out to my boy Top Busy, and I didn't get him. Like you said, it was hard to get him on the live. I'm inboxing. I'm cutting the live off. I'm cutting it back on. I'm like, damn, I can't get him. So I had my fans a little salty, and I was a little salty. Like, damn, you know what I mean? Because he showed me so much love when we talking.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, all right, I know I'm gonna get him. This is like how me and you. It's like, all right, this is a no brainer. You know what I mean? This is A1. We good. But this is how great. This is how amazing the Most High is. Don't get him, but being in the mix of being that bothering me, it had me up. So now I'm like, damn, I gotta get my fans. This shit is crazy. Like this the shit. Here goes something. Here come the devil trying to kill the little bit of notoriety that I do have. He trying to suck it out of there. You know what I mean? Because you know when your word is your bond, your word is your bond. You know your word is everything. So, you know, I'm from an era where your word's supposed to be everything. You know what I mean? You give me your word.
Mm-hmm.
Just because you deciding to give me your word. You ain't
Mm-hmm.
gotta give me your word. You ain't gotta promise me nothing. So, you know, I woke up 5 in the morning, jumped on my live, getting dressed, smoking the L, and D from Rough Riders jumped on my live. And I'm like, this the CEO of Rough Riders? I'm like, what the fuck? Hold up. And something, the spirit just got over me and said, tap the request button. I tapped the request button and he went live. It popped up so fast I had to grab my hat. I'm like, oh shit, this thing. Oh shit. And you know, the live opened up and he like in the mix of the live open up, I hear him like, yo, this the one I wanted to talk to right here. He the one I wanted to see. And I'm like, oh shit. The circle coming up, so I'm not trying to say too much, but I'm like, and it pop open and he just embraced me. So I've been watching you. You grinding impeccable. You know, your grind is unorthodox. I, he know a diamond. He know a diamond in the rough. I know he know.
That is
I know he
some
know.
that's
I know.
awesome.
I know it's a feeling every time he see. Cause I could go live at any time, and I say I catch him more during the morning, not during the day. But if it's 2, 3 in the morning, I might jump up and jump on my live. He might sometimes be the first person that just, and I'll be like the general. Oh shit, salute, you know. And he embraced me so crazy, and I gave him so much love from the point of view of a fan point of view. Like y'all, you know, y'all the people that helped me understand more of hip hop and make me understand that you can make it. Once I seen them do what they did for Eve, it was like, man, they know they understand Philly. They understand Philly. Fuck all that. They some New Yorkers that understand Philly turn around and wind up getting ready to go to Vegas. He tapping on my live going on in the airport. He like, yo, I'm actually from Philly. My grandma from Philly. All my real niggas is actually from Philly. Ain't nobody else ever got an interview with him and got that out of him. He's giving me that out of the spray. He got love for me. He like, yo, so I posted and I told him, I said, yo, I'm actually recording this. I'm like, so I'm gonna post it out on my page, and he like, go ahead. I, Now, mind it was early in the morning, so by the time we got done, I was so happy. I wound up, I think, leaving out and making a run, and then by the time I got back to the house, I dipped out. But I posted the video before I fell asleep. Woke up, man, to so many DMs, shit from everybody. Niggas in my shit. Yo, you know who you talking to? Yo, that fucking D from the Rough Riders. Yo, you tripping? How you do this? And I'm like, so I didn't have a name for it, but I forgot that morning. I was just like talking to an entrepreneur, a mogul. I'm like, and I just happened to put entrepreneur talk. Like I'm talking to I'm on some entrepreneur shit. And I just put entrepreneur talk and never really didn't click. But that's what I just threw in the video because I was posting it so early and I ain't have a caption. I'm like, man, entrepreneur talk with Rome, your favorite rapper. And I just threw that out. And then I did an interview on my man. Shout out to Bill Collector, one of the battle rappers.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and my logo that y'all see was really my pictures for one of my album covers called Man on Fire, but I got fire coming out my mouth. That's why if you notice my hands is like on the cover. It's because on my original cover that I got done for my album was fire coming out my mouth, Man on Fire. Like my bars is fire. So boom, he took the picture, got one of his special graphic designers and he sent the shit back and it was they go entrepreneur talk with your favorite rapper and they go the logo and I was just so blown away. I was just like, what? I said, yo, this is the logo. And then the rest was history. Before you know,
That is
I was interviewing Charlie Mack. I'm interviewing Nam
wow.
Eight. I'm interviewing Rambo. I'm interviewing Tone Trump. I'm interviewing all my people that seen me come up through those years. Actually came to tap in with me on my podcast and was like, "Yo, Ron, we glad it's you." And I'm on this joint with you because I want to support you because you deserve it. Because they know how much I've been in these streets grinding since day one, nonstop. They haven't seen me stop yet. And like I said, I'm 41 years old. And I don't plan on stopping no time soon. I really believe I'm getting better with my bars. I'm getting better with what I want to say, what I think that people need to hear, what I want to release, what I think should be in that atmosphere. At least when you get to me. You know, when you get to your favorite rapper, you're going to get content of passion, love, hurt, pain, but how to carry it and be able to get through it and forgive yourself for some of maybe the things you have done and maybe even put you in some of those predicaments. It's not about laying it down, kicking it under the rug and getting rid of it. You can't get rid of nothing that's attached to you ever until you fix it or make it better or
You
just
know,
doing the nut shit. And it won't be no trail of nut shit.
your the story about how your podcast became is actually really, really it's it's really inspirational, and
I didn't
it's
even
really organic.
I didn't even like it's funny because it's COVID and I'm doing it and it's like I'm booking these interviews. I'm in people DMs hitting them like, yo, look, I'm such and such. I'm Rome, your favorite rapper. These people don't even a lot of people didn't know me, you know, the ones that not the ones that knew me already, but the ones even the ones that knew me, I still had to reach out to them and make them believe. Like it ain't like not they just tapped in like, oh, all right. No, some of them was like, but then when they got to talk with me like this, and I appreciate my podcast for one thing, it got to show everybody my personality outside
Hmm.
rap. I think rap is saturated because a lot of times we rap and think that because we think we thorough, people automatically is going to listen to the music and then respect us. It don't work that way. They want to know if you really living your shit. Is you really doing something with the shit? Is you benefiting and can anybody else benefit off what you doing? What you doing? Because to a certain extent, it can just look like it glorifies money, lifestyle, rich and famous. It sometimes the way they paint it, it looks like it glorifies this lifestyle of glam and glitz. But a lot of times, niggas don't own they shit. They renting that shit. It's a video. It's like David Chappelle. He really wasn't a crackhead. Y'all knew that shit. But when he played it on a sitcom, he really looked it like one and acted like one. And it was believable that we laughed and really was like, loved those characters.
Sure.
Realize that
I
they're characters. But
Yeah.
they are characters of real issues outside.
Yeah, real issues. No,
So
you're right. Hmm.
you know what I'm saying? So a lot of times that's why those things get stuck in our minds and we can't let it go because we see it so much. We assume that it's just normal. But if you gotta call something that ain't right normal, then something's wrong with you.
Well, yes, I think one of the things about the music and the music business is that the culture is pushing the business instead of the artist is pushing the culture, and that we're made to fall in line with something that sells. But then after a while, when everybody, because I notice everyone is studying everything that's happening, and
Mm,
that's when you start to get social media fatigue or music industry fatigue.
right.
And it makes it so that authenticity and organicness and people that are talking about the actual real life, there becomes another demand.
But I tell people, you still gotta know right from wrong. You gotta know like me, I kind of know my fan base. So it's like
Mm.
I know I got an 11-year-old daughter that I got full custody of that
Oh,
she can hear me through the walls rapping. You think I want her to hear me talking about shorty twerking and she did it because when she hear that and then go to TikTok with that, my dad in there rapping and singing about the shit. This shit is cool.
yeah, yeah,
So I can't
yeah.
say twerking in the average way that a 17 year old, 18 or 19 or 20 or 21-year-old artist that make it in the game may see. He ain't might not have no kids. He ain't
Right.
you know what I'm saying? So he's not gonna understand that him saying this twerking shit is gonna affect The kids ain't thinking like that. I know for a fact, like, damn, this is why people say, well, damn, I don't really got a lot of party songs. I got some shit that you can party to, but I don't got that average pop that pussy, do. We ain't doing all that. I can't do all that. I gotta represent
Right.
something long term, and that's my child's mentality on reality compared to what's fiction and fake, what's entertainment and what's reality. You know what I'm saying? But if she had me in the bedroom, twerk that, she popping that, yeah, get on your knees and drop it low, she gonna be like, I can drop it low. Shit, my dad telling the motherfucker to drop it low. You see
Exactly.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's gonna go off my impulse because she's a part of she's my seed, she's my child. If I tell her that's a no, she's gonna listen to me like, oh my God, like it's gonna become a habit of my dad already, I can't touch that shit. She gonna know. But if she hear me saying, that's a go, that's a go, she gonna be like, oh shit, well, we can go. We going. You know what I mean? Dad, you saying it's a go. She gonna use my own words against me.
Right. Right.
Then what I'm gonna say? I'm gonna argue and make my daughter think that something's wrong with her and I'm right. So fuck her head up. The benefit off of what? Me just mad because I told her some shit she ain't supposed to, like, she don't even have a, not saying she ain't gonna learn it to see it, but she ain't attached to none of them motherfuckers. So my thing is this: once she stand in my face, the first thing I'm gonna tell her is those your people? Who take care of you? All right, so you doing that for them? I'm gonna make her think. Yeah, you putting them in front of you? That's all I want to know. Cause you gonna get your ass whooped for putting somebody else in front of you and they shit because you're following them. That's how you teach your kids. This is how you learn how to talk to your children and make them understand what you trying to still understand, but make them know that you're understanding it and I'm bringing you along to help you understand it right along with me. Not me forcing this on you and belittling you and patronizing you to think that that's going to make you get it. No, that's going to make you mad at me that you're going to block everything I said out.
Right. And that's a good way. You know what? That's something that I thought about actually in the back of my mind about how do male rappers how do they feel about some of the things, some of the issues that come up with women and young girls as having daughters, sisters,
I mean,
and mothers. And a part of it is for, we all know, is for entertainment because everybody sings about whatever's in the mainstream and what makes money. Everyone sings about whether it's a man or a woman, uh, uh, artist or rapper.
being as though I'm from that era of, I know niggas was liking the characters before they was liking the music. I know when Criss Cross came out, if it was all about the music, why was they clothes on backwards?
Mm-hmm. It's a huge.
Y'all,
That's
y'all,
why I'm a culture critic. It's a
y'all
huge
fell in
part of
love with
culture.
them two kids. Cause I know I did as a kid. Like, fucking
Yes.
kids. It was jumping around and they calm, cool, and collective as shit. Like this is normal. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm like, and they got the Patrick Ewings on. I'm like, hold up. I'm looking at my grandma. I'm like, shit. Somebody ain't telling me something about this joint, man. But like I said, I took their energy, and my God-given gift. One of my God-given gifts. I was a born artist. I could draw. Like I could draw anything I see. Never,
Wow.
never an actual. You got some people that know how to create characters. They could just create a character of mine. I was never that, but anything I put my eyes on, I could duplicate it on paper. Period. You sat
So
there,
can my
sat
sister
there.
and my niece, but I can't.
Yeah,
But wow,
if you could sit
that's
there
a
long
gift.
enough, I could draw you. Period.
Wow. That, you know what? My sister and my niece has that gift. Like I cannot like draw like that, but they really could. And that's wow. That's a very unique thing because that means you're a double artist, you
Right.
know?
That's what I think gave me. But I think the art, the eye, is why I think I'm a great photographer and videographer. Because being as though I can't draw no more,
Mm.
my right hand got messed up and all that.
Mm-hmm.
So I ain't been able to draw in years. But I think this is where me behind that camera and having to be able to see somebody else's vision. And
Mhm.
it's like
Yeah.
the picture of it already is drawn for me, but it's me catching what I would do if I was actually sketching you the detail. See, when I would draw people, I would never draw from the outside and then in. I would always draw from the inside out. So if I started drawing you, I'm gonna draw your nose first. I'm gonna bring
Okay.
I'm gonna bring your lines down, then I'm gonna draw your lips, and then I'm gonna go up in that sculpture that nose. I'm gonna get you. I always started from detail, and
Wow.
then draw it around. So everybody would be looking at me like, so it's like everything I ever did in my life, for some apparent reason, somebody would come and tell me you making it harder than what it is. Maybe so, but it made me great, not better. It made me great because I attacked the hard shit first to the point where I done mastered everything that would be hard for a normal person. It's exciting for me. It's not hard for me. It's exciting for me.
Mm.
You know what I mean? And what I be trying to do with the people around me is bring their excitement out enough that they can get over the fear of the hard part. And if you do that first, you'll master everything else because everything else is a sketch. The detail was it's like the detail was really the function of the creation.
Yeah,
So,
definitely.
and like I say, like it's all that wrapped up in one. I was, doing a lot of school plays when I was young. So this is where the acting come into play. Stage plays, the Romeo and Juliets, and replaying a Malcolm X scene or Malcolm X scene, and I Have a Dream, and all that. I grew up in that era too, where we was on stage and having to dress the part and in pajamas, and you actually having to learn these plays off the paper. So this is where I was actually acting before I was even rapping. Like I was actually doing the
That's
play before the music. But then, like I said, the music just took over. Like because I didn't have a voice in my home. I was raised by my grandma, so it was speak when spoken to. That was all I heard. No matter who was over, that's a grown up. Speak when you're spoken to. So normally I would have to be quiet. So it was a lot of years in my life where it was just sitting there like viewing everything, but really nobody to express it to. So I'm just that when I started writing music, I was writing it too much. Words bottled up, sentences overdrawn. I was just trying to get it out. And and shout out to my man Face Money, man, from Ice City on the freeway, Philadelphia freeway, best friends. I never forget it. I spit some bars for him one day, and he was like, "Yo, you dope. You just got too many bars in bars that is mumbling up your words where you slur it and you can't get everything out, and you rushing your speech and you rushing the flow." He said, "You can take some of those words out of there, man, and just get to the rhyming. Boom, 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 boom. You gonna be dope." I listened to him. Rest was history. Went down the Midwest, man, got that Southern slang up in me and that hospitality and them warm Southern hospitality meals. And it was like I'm waking up and I'm seeing a different part of their lifestyle. They looking at me like, why are you down here? And I'm looking at them like, man, because I'm down here. You know what I mean? But I went down there because of this accident. My hand got cut off and cut up. I wasn't used to being in Philadelphia without a job. This is my first time in my life not being able to work. Never not had no money. Don't know how to not have no money, and really don't know how to need anybody else. I was independent my whole life because I had no choice. It was me, my little brother, my grandma, and my aunt, and my mom when she would come back and forth. So we was the only men. I was the oldest, so I had no choice but to go out at 13 years old and figure out how to make money and get a job. And to be a little bit of relief for my like she can, breathe a little bit. I'm the oldest. If I can make some money and buy my own stuff, and that'll take some ease off of her. And that's what I did. Wound up getting summer jobs every year, full of jobs, and painting these murals that's on our walls out here and stuff like that, the clean sweep games. And I was a part of all that shit back then. I was on WDHS when I was real young. Shout out to Gary Shepard and Miss Patty and all those people over there. I was a young boy. And I never forget it. I told them on that radio station, I was like, my name Romeo. I was gonna see me again. And they was letting me kick my little freestyles. I couldn't curse, but they was kick my little. I had a big brother. Put it like this: I had a female. My grandma used to let us sit on the step. She wouldn't never let us get off. So I could go outside, but I always sit on the step. And it was a lady that would always walk up and down the block. And one day she was like, Romeo, I think you need a big brother. And that's when the big brother programs was out there, where they would give you somebody to come up and take you out and show you different things. And she brought me to God's and she begged my grandma, like, I think you need a big brother. Like, at least get him off the step. Some of the step they, and he took me to the radio station. He took me and allowed me to do all the things that I was good at. He allowed me to find out how good I was at them. Oh, you rap? I'm gonna take you to the radio station. I'm like, what? I'm taking you to WD. I'm taking you to the radio station. You going in there, and I'm gonna see if you can rap. Like heart pounding, like 20 horses running around. I'm like, what? Took me to the radio station. You know what I'm saying? And just that experience. I came home. I'm looking at my grandma. She looking like, you happy? I'm like, grandma, I went to the radio. Just something to make them believe in men, in a man. I just never saw none of the women around me growing up believing in any men. It was dead in the house. No men around. I'm talking about year after year. We in there. We breaking up shit. Me and my brother starting to get bigger. We fighting and shit going on. I'm like, nigga, I'm tired of, like, nigga, he need his own bed. Like, come on. Like, no man in the house. So it's always emotions. It's just always emotions and emotional tension, unhappiness. And I wake up, my grandma, I'm crying. What the fuck is going on? Like, what's wrong? And, I just seen a lot of woman's point of view growing up. That it made me, I see some people, they be like, oh, they moms raising them, they gonna be faggots and all like that. A lot of men do turn faggot trying to be like they mom and all that, or being raised by certain women. But me seeing the pain of the disappointment that they seen the world and how the world treated men, or the black man growing up, it made me want to be one of the best black men I could be coming out of my era. Even if I was the poor little kid that mom was on drugs, dad left the home, grandma raising me, and we don't got you really nothing. You know what I'm saying? That's why I tell people I'm the diamond from the rough, or I'm the rose that grew from the concrete. I am that. I am that. You know what I'm saying? Because we was told, we not going to college. You ain't get, unless you get a scholarship, you're not going to college. But people don't tell you, you got to have people that help push you in that direction. So if it's nobody to push you into going to college, or, this world, you're not going to never know it. So we automatically, in my mind, was like, well, we ain't going to college. The fuck? So it kind of killed school. Fuck we doing all we ain't. I mean, there ain't nothing else after this. But I still gave school my best because I love to be a dope person. And being a dope person and trying to be that dope person, not even trying being that dope person. That dope person was actually everything that was going on. I would be real about it. Yo, you stole them cookies out of it? Yeah. Yo, you did this? Yeah. I never lied. I hated lying. And I think lying makes people turn into the fake shit, because when you start lying, you got to keep on lying. And keep on lying and keep on lying until you become the lie yourself. You're lying to yourself to the point the lies become your reality, because that's all you doing. So, that's why I think I named myself Rome Your Favorite Rapper, because I knew people would ask me, what the fuck makes you think you my favorite rapper? And then I asked him, do you got a favorite rapper? Well, no. So how the fuck you know if I ain't your favorite rapper? Go listen to me. And the majority of the people that really do tap in, they wind up loving everything that I'm doing. They wind up finding out who I truly am. And I tell a lot of people that's around me, you're not going to really get to know me unless you tap into the music. You'll know what you think you see, but if you going off sight, you're gonna lose. Because I'm deeper than what your eyes can see. But most people just want to look at me. And then when I tax they ass with my mouth, then they like, oh man, but I ain't, oh man, what? That's your thoughts. Who told you to think for me? You got a mouth too. You could have asked me. That's simple. I ain't did nothing on this earth to make you feel scared to say something to me. But again, people eyes fuck their mouth up. Because they'll see what they want to see. Oh, the nigga got the jury on that nigga. What the fuck? The jury for me, these my prizes. It ain't got shit to do with nothing. This don't help me rap better. I don't even get no females with this shit. On, man. I don't get no females with this shit. I don't. People be like, oh, you got, yeah, they be like this. They do so much of them. Can't even get them. They want this shit got them stuck. They ain't looking at me. It ain't me. And then you know what's so crazy? They come over to me like, can I have your chain? Again, it ain't me. It's the fucking chain. They want that. They don't want me. And that's when I came to the recollection of this shit don't get nobody no fucking girls, man. This shit get them the one shit. That's it. You know what I'm saying? And that's just some real shit. I rap that in a rap. Like, this shit don't get no girls. You know what I'm saying? And it's just, you know, this are gifts from me, though. That things that, you know, that I work for and just said, you know. But my birthstone is a diamond. I'm an Aries, so my birthstone is a diamond anyway. So that's why I like jewelry a lot. I like diamonds. I like jewelry. You know what I'm saying? You know, something I always liked since a kid. Like, even when I was, like I said, I had my jobs, I was always in jewelry. Like, even if you really go through all my shit, you will see different eras. I got jewelry on. Long, short, different colors, boom, boom, boom. Because it was just something that ain't had shit really too much to do with rap. I was buying jewelry and earrings. When I was starting to be able to buy stuff for myself, you know, and you know, and that's just a lot. So that's why I think I got a pass, you know, through society where people were like, damn, we in the hood with that. I mean, people see me buy jewelry all my life, like since I've been making money on my own. So it's like it's nothing new to them. That's why I can say this shit ain't getting me because I'm still around my people. So this is not going to transcend to be like, oh my God, Rome about to go get all the girls off the block. No, it don't work that way. It ain't. Don't work that way for Rome. Rome's still hood, man. It's still normal for me. It's hard for people to feel like they special or even try to make me special around me. It's hard for people. Because when people look at you in a certain light, they think you made it already. They already feel like you got the success. They don't think you're still trapped in it or you still grinding and hustling and trying to make do every single day. This grind is every single day. That's why y'all see me doing it every single day. If I stop, then it stops. And then everything else stops. And then everything else is going to collapse on you because you got no foundation holding nothing up. That'll happen to the best of them. I know motherfuckers that got plenty of money. They unhappy than a motherfucker. And it's people like me that I'm good. I'm stable. But then a nigga asks me, well, what's the point of me having $100 million if I can't go out here and feed my city? My city won't let me feed y'all because they don't want me spending my money in the motherfucking neighborhood with y'all because they don't want me to empower my people. This is why people don't get on. This is why people lead people. This is why we got all this talent in Philadelphia. But if it's like if Cosmic Kev gave everybody if you notice, you got DJ Diamond Cuts. You ain't got no men for real. Because he didn't want to be in competition. He didn't want no competition. Put a female there, she gonna look, she ain't got no competition. It's only one Diamond Cuts. Ain't been another female that came on the radio to add to her, take her spot. She gonna be there as long as that nigga. That's how these niggas gotta play the game. It's longevity. It's not play. You know what I'm saying? That's why when you get in these organizations and get attached, you know, they swear you to secrecy. Shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? You know, because at the end of the day, it's like Full House. This is our house. Y'all the people that we put in here, and are you gonna rock out with the rules, or we gonna let you go too? So it's like that's why I don't do shit that treat me like it's a job. I'm just not doing it because at the end of the day, the Lord told me whenever I get in a spot that I can't handle, He'll take care of me. Well, I trust Him, and He been doing it. You know what I'm saying? Long as I do what He asks me to do, He gonna take care of me. So you know, that's why I be in a peaceful state of mind. You'll never really see nothing up there saying I'm in limbo and I'm drowning and I'm under quicksand and any of that shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like no. Like I said, the day I feel like that, I'm dying. Something wrong, and I'm telling them, check me the fuck into something. If you ever see me like that, something wrong. Come check on. Come get me. Something's wrong. Cause I'm gonna do this only until the blunts don't spark no more, and I'm in the urn. Cause I ain't going in no caskets. Like I said, I don't understand. If my spirit leave the body, what y'all need my body in the ground for? Why y'all gonna charge my family to fuck up to put my body in the ground? And it ain't my body that mean nothing no more. It's my spirit. So you know, say when you get just smarten up in life, man. You know, I'm in the. You know, my next album gonna be called The God Hour. I'll be in the God hours a lot of times. That's why I say my interviews, you got to go longer than it's gonna always be longer than the average because we find out everybody got a lot of entrepreneur talk. You know what I'm saying? So gotta
Mhm.
do it all the time. That's all I can tell people, man. You know what I mean? My legacy is already grooming in my kids. So you know when people say, "What should I see my legacy?" My kids, they know what it is. My daughter know what it is. She in here editing every day. She like, "Dad, I learned this from you. I'm good." I'm like, look, I'm looking at her like, for real? My daughter made me laugh so much, man. It's crazy. I'll be like, yo, she's identical. She's just a little girl. It's just a girl. But then when my son come in here, I look at him, I'll be like, this boy about to be 22. He looking like me. Yeah, I'm like, thankful I got my kids. They ain't hurt. They ain't messed up out here in these streets. I did something right. You know what I'm saying? I did something right. And I really think I just did God right. I'm just doing God right. Doing God right.
So that's a very wonderful thing. So, um, before we wrap up this interview, is there anything like that you wanted to say, or is there anything else that you wanted to say or wanted to talk about?
Um, I got a show coming up June 5th.
Mm-hmm.
The culture did. You know, I used to work for hip hop since 1987. You know, did interviews with Dapper Dan. I did
Mm-hmm.
Black Rob before he died. I actually did a song with
Wow.
G Dep 10 years ago, right before he turned
Yeah.
himself in. You know, New York.
Wow.
Shout out to New York. Shout out to California. You know, I just came back from Vegas, being over there with one of my artists, Draymond Mizzy. You know, with Slaughter Group Entertainment and we was out there with the Dog Pound. So shout out to Corrupt, shout out to Daz, shout out to
Mm-hmm.
Boston Big Nate. He used to be a professional baseball player. It's like, you know, just want everybody to know, man, you could chase your dreams, man. You really do gotta work. You never know when it's gonna happen. It could happen when you're 16, 17, 21, or it could happen when you're 35, 25, or 41. You just gotta be ready for it, you know. And when you're ready, you want to reap the benefits of your labor. You want to enjoy some stuff, but you still got a lot of work to do because, you know. when you preaching and teaching and learning like I am, I got a lot to give to the public, man. Verbally and lyrically, and I, like I say, I'm just, as I'm getting older, I'm getting wiser. So it's more stuff within time that I'm able to speak about, because now we're in a time where people really can't miss it. Everybody's kinked into the internet now, and everybody got Wi-Fi, and you can see all their Wi-Fi joints locked. I remember when Wi-Fi first started, you could pick up anybody Wi-Fi because they ain't know how to lock their shit. You in there just getting Wi-Fi joints. You on a neighbor joint like, yo, we running. Now go up there and look at your Wi-Fi. Listen, everybody got a lock on that joint. Yeah, because remember, the more people that was able to steal your Wi-Fi, your shit will run slow. So I'm just saying, like, I've been around that. I tell you, I've been around the block a few times. I pay attention.
Well, I would like to say I wanted to thank you. I wanted to thank you for coming on.
I do another.
Thank you for accepting. Thank you for accepting the invitation for coming on to the Indie Spotlight. And I want to say thank you to all of the viewers, and shout out to everyone that's viewing it. And hopefully to stay tuned for my YouTube and my Anchor podcast for the Indie Spotlight and the Indie Spotlight Special Edition. And your podcast, Entrepreneur Talk, where can we catch that at?
Well, I don't. Just the crazy thing. So I ain't gonna take long. But I really don't put a lot of stuff on YouTube because it's saturated, and it's
Mm-hmm.
hard to send those links out and
Yeah.
expect people to really click the link. They're not going to
Mm-hmm.
click the link. They're not. They're not going to click the link. If they're not YouTubers or loving YouTube, my aunt and them ain't looking at YouTube. They ain't got it. It just that's not happening. So I
Mm-hmm.
tell everybody, come to my Instagram and check out my IG. I normally put all my interviews up after I do them. They on my IGTV, but I winds up re-recording different spots and parts that I think I feel like need to be at certain times of the week or the month, that I feel like certain shit is going on. And if that pop up and I might have spoke about this, I need to take that and smack that to my fans right now and let them know I was just talking about that. Because even still, if it's an hour interview, they're not gonna watch the whole hour. They're not.
Mm-hmm.
And if you expecting people to really sit there and got the time to just be, it's not happening. That's why I tell people, learn your work. Because if you look at it from your point of view, oh, I just got them. You don't got them. You don't. You don't at all.
Mm.
You got to work
So
for them.
where could we watch your where could we watch your long
Oh,
form content?
they on there too. The IGTV, you can put as long as you
Mm-hmm.
want up there. So like I tell everybody, go to my IGTV. Even if you go to my page right now and you look, I got the hashtag with it right there, Entrepreneur Talk Season 2. You click on that, it's gonna take you to all my videos on my IGTV, and you're gonna be able
Awesome.
to see everything that I do right there. Everything.
So we will be able to catch your Entrepreneur Talk, your podcast, on your
I'm gonna put
IGTV
it on.
for the
I'm
long
gonna
form.
start putting them on my
And
YouTube just because people like you that actually make, because you got a podcast, you won't throw your YouTube on. If you got a TV in the house and you bring your folks over and I know you're gonna be on YouTube. So that's why you seen the ones you saw. I started putting the ones that I thought was big enough to be on the platform. Like, okay, this is big enough that I can attach his name to this, and even people that want to see him, they'll catch it through him too because it's attached to his name too because they name in it. So, I'm starting to transition over there. Everybody like, I ain't even put my stuff up on Anchor yet because
um
at the end of the day, I'm tired of kind of branding these other entities that don't brand me. When I
right.
really brand myself through my Instagram, because if you're truly looking for me, you see how you plan you're going to find me. You're going
Just not
to
to
find
butt
me.
in, not to butt in, but this will cut off like in a few. Yeah, it's going to cut off in a few. So thank everyone for coming on.
Thank you.
And thanks for everyone for watching. And please stay tuned to my timeline and for my Indie Spotlight, Indie Spotlight Special Edition on Anchor and on YouTube. Thank you guys. Have a great night.
Have a great night. Thank you for having me.